Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you are brand new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I am Iris Siriani and I am a self-love coach. And in this video, what I want to talk about is building the relationship that you have with yourself. I'm going to share 3 important, not easy steps for how you can start building that relationship with yourself, because I have discovered through my work and also for my own healing as well that we actually don't have a very good relationship with ourselves. So I want to share these 3 things that you can start with straight away that is going to start helping you cultivate that relationship with yourself. So let's get started. So let's start by looking at what does it mean to build a healthy relationship with yourself. If you were to think of your very best friend and you were to think about how special and how important and how significant they are to you, and the relationship that you have with that person, and how you show up for that person, how you make plans and you keep those plans to get together, how perhaps when they are feeling down that you are there, you are supportive, you are encouraging, you are uplifting to them, and when they're particularly hard on themselves, you may ask them to not beat themselves up or not be so hard on themselves and remind them that they're doing the best that they can. You would say that you have a really good relationship with that person. But if you were to ask yourself, do I have that same type of relationship with myself? Am I supportive? Am I encouraging? Do I show up for myself? Do I keep little promises to myself? Do I trust myself? In my experience, my own personal experience, and my experience in working with clients, is that many times, so often, we don't have that type of a relationship with ourselves that we do with our very best friend. So I want to share tip number 1 with you, and that is learning to keep little micro promises to yourself. How many times in a day do you make a little promise to yourself after work, instead of just going home and doing that thing that I know is not helping me improve myself, helping me feel good about myself, bettering my life? How many times do you say instead, I'm going to go work out, I'm going to spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes meditating when I get home, I'm going to go for a walk, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to have a conversation with my kids or my mom or my dad and talk about what went on with their day? How many times do you make those little promises to yourself, but then when that time comes, you don't follow through on what that promise is? Maybe you don't go to the gym. Maybe you don't spend that extra 10 minutes with your child. Maybe you don't go for that walk. Maybe you decide to get takeout instead of keeping the promise you made to yourself to maybe go home and make a healthy dinner, whatever it happens to be. Those are just examples. So we do that, and we do that so unconsciously. We're conscious of it, but it is easy for us to not keep our promises to ourselves. So there's a book, it's called Atomic Habits, and one of the things that he says in his book is to make little small promises to yourself every day and then start keeping those promises. So the example he uses in his book is, let's say this fellow wanted to start getting in shape. So maybe for the first week he would drive to the gym and spend 5 minutes sitting in the gym and then driving back home. And maybe he did that every day for the first week. And then maybe after into the second week, He not only went to the gym, drove to the gym, he actually spent 5 minutes walking on a treadmill. That's all he did. And then he would go home and call that a big success. And these are little micro promises that you make to yourself every single day that don't have to be big or enormous or throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week and I'm going to completely change my diet. Those types of big goals that I call throw the baby out with the bathwater goals are very difficult to stick with. And that may have been your experience as well. I know that that's been my personal experience as well. But when you break them down into little micro promises, at the end of fulfilling that promise to yourself, a couple of things are happening. You are feeling accomplished, which makes you feel proud of yourself that you did that thing, regardless how small it was. And the second thing is that you are also building trust in yourself, because that's another area. And this is point number 2, is start building trust within yourself. When we are constantly breaking promises and not following through on the little things that we say we're going to do, we don't trust ourselves. But by keeping these little promises, we feel accomplished. And those little things that we do every single day, little things add up to big things, and they create bigger, more lasting change in our life, which is ultimately going to increase and create a healthier relationship that we have for ourselves. When you think about yourself and the relationship that you have with yourself, would you say that you trust yourself? I see this a lot when I work with clients in their relationship. I don't trust myself in this relationship. I don't trust myself around this group of people. I don't trust that I'm not going to pick the wrong person again. Those are big trust things. And the way to start building trust within yourself is to keep those little micro promises to yourself. But you really have to chunk them down. And through the process of those micro promises, what happens as you start to build the trust within yourself, because you're doing the things that you said you were going to do that are ultimately going to improve your life and the relationship that you have with yourself, it also builds how you see yourself. And how you see yourself really has a direct thread to, yes, the relationship that you have with yourself, but also knowing what your needs are, knowing who you are, what you need at any given point in your day, in your week, in your month, in your year. Which leads me to point number 3, is to begin to know yourself. Have you ever heard the term, you know me better than I know myself? While that's really a flattering thing, and it usually happens in a close relationship type of situation, you should know yourself better than anybody else knows you. But there is some value and some merit into hearing, you know me better than I know myself, or somebody saying to you, I know you better than you know yourself. And the reason I say that is because quite often people who are really close to us see us in a way that we don't see ourselves. They see the good in us. They see the value in us. They see all of the things that we are worthy of that we ourselves may not see that we're worthy of. And so can you take time to get to know who you are? What is it that you like? What is it that you dislike? What is it that you need in any given moment or at any given point in your day. One of the exercises that I give to my clients when I begin working with them is a connection to self meditation. And really, what it is you wake up in the morning, you do a body scan to see how your body is feeling. You start from there, your head, just roll over like it's an infrared light, let's say, and it just does a complete body scan. How do you feel in your shoulders? How do you feel in the back of your neck? A lot of people hold on to tension in the back of their neck and across their shoulders. How do you feel across your chest? Maybe you just started working out and your chest is sore. Same with your back, and just do this scan down through your whole body just to tune in and notice how you're feeling, how your physical body is feeling. And then tune in and see how you're feeling emotionally. Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling depressed? Are you feeling annoyed because you have to go to this job that you dislike, or have a meeting with somebody that you don't particularly want to meet up with? Scan your body. Scan all of the systems, your emotional body, your physical body, your energetic body. How are you feeling around you in your environment? Does it make you feel good? Do you wake up feeling good in the space that you're in? And then ask yourself, what do I need? And for a lot of people, this is a really interesting question because they don't really know what they need, but that's the whole point. Start tuning in to yourself and then asking yourself what you need. Maybe you woke up too early this morning and what you really need is another 15 minutes of sleep. Or maybe you're thirsty, or maybe your stomach's a little bit upset, or maybe you're hungry. Just tune in. It's not that you have to fix anything or change anything. It's about the connection that you make to yourself and being able to identify how you're feeling, mind, body, spirit, and what is it that you need. And once you start to make that connection, you start actually giving yourself what you need. And this then is a bridge to changing the patterns of needing other external sources to give you what you need versus you giving yourself what you need. So to recap, the three things is little micro promises. Make them to yourself every single day and follow them through, and do it for a week. Create one little micro process that is going to have an impact on your life, better your life, enrich your life, make you feel better in some way. Do that micro promise to yourself every single day for a week. Do not let yourself off the hook. Follow through on it. So it could be you're going to meditate for 5 minutes every morning or every day, or go for that walk, or whatever it has to be. Switch out Coke for sparkling water, let's say, something like that. You know what it is for you. Number 2, start building that trust within yourself to follow through on your promises, because that's going to also build self-confidence and self-esteem. And number 3 is start to get to know yourself better than anybody else. So I hope that you have found this video helpful. If you did, like it, share it, comment. If you like the content of my channel, then please subscribe. And until I see you in the next video, take good care.